If you are a video editor, which I'm assuming you are just by you clicking on this video, you've probably heard or have already done trials in the past. If you haven't, trials are just these test edits, these videos that you do for creators, usually unpaid, but it's just to let them know that you are able to do what they're looking for. I've made an entire video on trials and how to go about them and how to go from unpaid trials to paid trials. So if you haven't watched that, you can watch that now. But getting rejected from trials is something that I think is a very relatable experience for both other editors and me included. I remember applying to basically any job I could get, and even if they would ask for a free trial, bro, I would do it straight away, and then I'd send it to them a week later and I'd get ghosted. And I'd be so confused. I'm like, bro, like, you wanted me to do the trial and now you're not accepting me or you're ghosting me. It's like, what was the point of it? As you go about your editing career, trials are gonna come up and you're gonna have a moment where you feel as though nobody's even looking at your trial. So in this video, I want to teach you everything I've learned over the last few years of doing trials and doing it for some of the largest channels in the world and then getting them, and I want to share just what I've learned now. So the first thing we need to talk about, which I don't think anyone has told you before, but I'm saying this out of love, so I hope you don't get pissed off at me. You might complain that nobody's looking at your trial, that you're submitting it and no one looks your way, but the truth is, the creator probably did look at it. He probably saw your DM, he saw the link, or he saw the video that you submitted on the form. He clicked on it, and then within 3 to 5 seconds, he wasn't impressed. And this isn't me calling you a shit editor, but I'm just saying that we need to take accountability. We need to say like, okay, this is our fault. It's not like someone didn't look at our post. It was that we kind of messed up in the first few seconds. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I've been on both sides. I've been the editor who's applying to trials, getting ghosted, thinking that no one's looking at it, and I've also been the guy who's hiring editors. Both for myself and my other clients, I've done trials for other editors, and the truth is, when you've got 200, 300 editors applying for a single position, because that's what you're competing against with these huge channels, he's not going to watch through an entire 3, 4, 5 minutes of your trial when you fucked up the first few seconds. Between you and the hundreds of thousands of other editors that you're competing against, probably 90% of them don't even get past those first few seconds. And just so that you're not one of them, I'm going to tell you exactly kind of the red flags that clients pick up on. Like, they'll click on these videos and they'll see that the cut timings are slightly off, they left way too much pause at the beginning. They'll see that the zooms are way too zoomed in, like the composition, so how the face is on the screen, it's way too zoomed in, or for some reason it's on the side, it's not even centered, like the guy didn't center it. It's things like that that just piss the client off. It's the volume being too loud or too quiet, it's the color correction he tried but it's just way too saturated, like he didn't match the style of the current videos on the channel. It's some goofy music where you can tell he found some random song and just thrown it onto the timeline. And me saying this, you can imagine, right? Those are things that you could solve. Like, you're good enough. If you're watching me, you're not a dumbass. You know that if you just try to fix these things, you could. So imagine how much better it would be if you could just focus on the bare basics and just look through your own video and be like, okay, yeah, if I had to watch those first 5 seconds, if that was the only bit that was getting judged, yeah, I would hire that guy. You should be able to look at your own work and save that. Because let's be for real, right? Let's think back to the trial that you might have done or something that you've gotten rejected for. If we were being completely honest to ourselves, bro, this is just between me and you, we don't need to tell anyone else. Did we really try on that video? Of course, it's like we're gonna tell ourselves that, oh, we tried our best and we did it as good as possible, but I mean, deep down, you're not getting paid for it and you don't feel too motivated. I mean, you're trying, you're gonna do it as good as possible, but let's be real, if you were getting paid 100, 200, 300 bucks for it, you probably would have done it a lot better. And it's like, there's gonna be some editors that are saying that, no, but I do try on my trials, it's just that this client is an asshole or he ghosted me, it's not my fault. It's like, they're gonna say that, but come on, like, let's be real, if he was paying you hundreds more, you would feel more motivated to make it better. That's not even embarrassing to say out loud. Like, even me, bro, I've got to the point where I'm charging thousands. Even I would say like, oh, for a free trial, I wouldn't be as motivated as if I was getting paid. It's like, you gotta have the humility to say like, yeah, I do have that flaw. So we get these videos that creators send us and we're gonna try on them, but we don't even do it that well. And it's honestly like free quality work. It's not like we're gonna do the same quality as a huge paying client. But at the same time, we're the same ones that are expecting them to pay us hundreds. Take a second to think about it. How are we expecting to secure a $200, $300, $400, $500 client, not per month but per video, when we're giving in free quality work? This is something I learned from Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi, another huge entrepreneur, he has a YouTube channel. I don't recommend many YouTube channels except these. So like, if I recommend a channel, you know it's fucking good. Alex Hormozi, amazing guy. He has this concept called people set the expectation of your paid stuff from the quality of your free stuff. So if you give out shitty free stuff, people are gonna think your paid stuff is shitty as well. Like imagine you're walking in your local shopping mall, right? And you're walking around with your friends, and suddenly there's a girl that calls you over. She's standing outside a cafe. So you look her way and you see she's got a tray of like cookies in front of her. She's saying that, oh, I've got 3 samples, do you wanna try one? Do you wanna try one? And you seem quite glad. You pick it up, you try it, and you give one to your friends as well. You're chewing, and then you feel something like fucking hard, like you can't even bite into it. So you take it out, and it's got like green spots all over it. It's moldy. And you look towards your friends and they've got the same disgusted face, and you're never gonna go to that cafe again, are you? A cafe wouldn't give out moldy trials, moldy samples. So why would you give in like a shitty trial and expect your clients to come back to you? But imagine in another reality where the girl came up to you, she had the tray, she gave one to you, and you tried it, and it was the best fucking cookie that you've ever had in your life. Suddenly you and your friends, you're all like nodding to each other, like kind of pointing into the cafe saying like, I know we were going to go to that other cafe, but do you want to go to this one instead? So when you're doing these trials, something that I like to have in my head personally is, how would I edit this video if I was getting paid the full amount? So how much he would have paid me normally, and then double, and then triple it, and then quadruple. What if he paid me 10x the normal amount, and I treat this trial as if I was getting paid that amount? And in the back of your mind, you're going to have this like ego in your head. You're going to have this bad part of you that tells you, nope, but we're not getting paid. Why would I? Like, I can't motivate myself. But that part of you is a short-term thinking part inside your head. He's thinking about how we can get paid today, how we can get a couple of dollars in a few hours. But the logical side of you, the side of you that's watching this video right now, listening to me, he understands that if we try on this video, we're going to be able to be more likely to secure this client. And even if we don't, the worst case scenario is that we have an amazing piece that we can put on our portfolio and then attract other paying clients, and they see that this work is good, they see that this sample was good, and then they want to hire us. So no matter what, if we try in this video, it's a net gain for us. There's so many editors that think so short term. They're thinking, oh, how can I make $5 today? How can I quickly just rush this trial and maximize my hourly rate from $1 to $2 an hour by not doing the cuts as perfectly? Like, they're thinking how they can make these short-term gains. And honestly, I don't think it's their fault, because we've pretty much been like conditioned as a society to think so much more short-term. Like, you want some sort of entertainment, instead of you going out with your friends and having a healthy social life, you've been given TikTok, you've been given YouTube shorts, you've been given Instagram reels. Instead of you eating healthier, having like an unprocessed meal. So unprocessed meal is like when you have like raw ingredients and not like this processed shit from supermarkets and stuff. Instead of doing that, we've been given Uber Eats. We've been given these quick delivery things that allow us to quickly, short term, just get our food that we want. Even when it comes to the content you consume, just think about any other editing creators that you listen to. They'll tell you these quick, oh, top 5 AI tools, I'll pay you $100 to get this quick video done. They're like luring you in with these short-term benefits. Like, how crazy is that? Genuinely think about that. These guys make like this cheap content. Oh, how to make 10k a month as an editor. And don't get me wrong, it's 100% possible. What I'm saying isn't that you shouldn't be ambitious. The problem is they're taking advantage of hundreds of thousands of video editors' ambition, and they're trying to get some quick views off of it. And don't get me wrong, I'm no better than these guys. Genuinely, if you think about it, like, yeah, I get views, I get like subscribers. I don't really do shit for attention, but technically part of my business is also helping editors. Yeah, I'm open with that, but I'm not gonna try selling you this quick like, oh, how to get 10k a month with this one AI tool, how to do auto editing, and you only have to work 5 minutes a day. Like, I'm not gonna tell you this bullshit. A lot of the times the things that I tell you, they're not gonna be the sexy answer. And if you wanted another top 5 AI tools, let's be real, you've watched enough of them. If you're watching this video now, clearly they haven't worked, so you can continue down that path, or you can follow someone that's telling you what's actually worked for him and hundreds others that he's helped. These guys have conditioned you. They've manipulated you to think short term, and suddenly it's become a strange thing for a guy to say, yeah, if you actually try on your editing trials, you might be more likely to get the job. Wild idea, I know, but because one of my greatest fears for you, which I'm scared these guys are going to get you into with their short term thinking, is you get a trial, you've contacted with this creator, you've outreached, or he reached out to you through branding and stuff, so he's in your DMs, he gives you a trial, you're working on it, and you send it in. Sure, it wasn't horrible, like it was still a presentable video, but you didn't really try on it. But the client's got 10, 11, 12 other editors that have applied. 2 of them were better than you. They actually followed our protocol. They followed the whole concept of actually trying on these trials, and he gets the job. And just imagine that this client could have been your dream client. He could have been the most perfect guy for you. He could have been the creator that not only pays you well, but as you both grow together in this like amazing relationship working together, and he's increasing your pay, you're growing so much, you're learning from him. He's teaching you both like the business side, he's teaching you all the stuff about YouTube, he's allowing you creative freedom, so you're getting better at editing as well. He would have been your textbook, like perfect creator, and you lose that opportunity because you listened to those guys who made you think short term. So you've got a choice now, because honestly the majority of editors, 99% of them, they do like, no, honestly most people do shit. What am I saying? Probably like 80% of editors never make anything out of their career. And then from that upper 20%, they might get a few clients here or there. You're probably in here right now if you're doing trials and you're starting to do more. But then a few months, a few years pass, and that's where the great separation is. That's where the majority will start doing okay with clients. They'll make a couple $100, maybe a couple $1,000, and then they fall off. They're making just about enough where they're comfortable, but then life gets in the way. Parents are saying get a real job, start going uni, oh 1k, 2k, oh that's nice little boy, but like you actually gotta start living a normal life. Like you need to get a real job. You should probably go to university, you should probably get that Tesco job, like they start stacking shelves so you can slowly move up that shitty corporate ladder. And he has that belief that no, he can make it in editing, but he never does. So then he has to go back to his parents with like his tail between his legs saying that I'm sorry I tried, I'm sorry you were right, and goes and lives like everyone else. I'll be completely honest, that was my motivation for so much of my editing career. My parents didn't want me to get into editing. They hated the idea of business. Like they wanted me to go to university. I'm Asian as well, you can imagine. Like they wanted me to go to university to study like architecture. For you it's probably like fucking dentistry or being a doctor or engineer or some shit. But for me the scariest thing was them being right. That's the reality for most people, and I think I got somewhat lucky, and also I worked hard as fuck for this. While 99% of editors fail, there's only 1% that grow exponentially. These are the editors that not only have they mastered like smooth motion, they've gotten their animations down, but they've got the business side as well, and then they're balancing it with their life, and then they're learning all these new like mindsets. They've got pretty much everything in place. They've got more clients coming to them that they even know what to do with. They no longer need to work like the shitty normal 9 to 5. They don't have to go into like rainy days when they don't even want to work. If they want to work that day, they will. And if they want to stay in bed for a bit, like that's cool as well, but they're making their money. You have no idea how good the opportunity in front of you is, bro. Like if you're watching this now, you're probably a lot more similar to the younger version of me, 16, 17 years old. Tell him that he would have been in a position where he is now, where he's making not only more money than anyone else around him, including his parents, but he's actually enjoying his work too. I wouldn't have believed you, and me telling you this right now, I'm hoping this is like some sort of inspiration, you realizing what the potential is, and we'd love to have you join us, bro. We've got hundreds, honestly thousands of video editors that are learning how to genuinely turn their hobby, what they once started as kind of like a little side thing, but turning it into a fucking money printing machine. So if that does sound interesting to you, you can join us. You can like the video, subscribe, do all the YouTube shit, and you can comment as well. I never do like a comment call to action, but you can comment what your sort of goals are, and yeah, I love reading the comments and shit, bro. But yeah, there'll be a video here that you can watch. Go watch that right now. Take care. Peace.